Salem High School, and welcome to this week's episode of SHS Today. I'm Gianna Vittorioso, and joining me today at the desk is Brooke Johnson.
Thanks, Gianna. We have a lot of great stories for you this week. Our news team was busy interviewing many teachers and students to catch everyone up on the many things going on at Salem High School. We begin this week's episode with an update on the construction project.
That's right. The big news around here is the grand opening of the new back entrance to the school, featuring new locker rooms, a brand new band and chorus space, and a beautiful grand staircase. We caught up with a very busy Principal Collier to ask her what the latest phase in the construction means to Salem High School.
I've never gone through a renovation project, so I have nothing to compare it to, but I gauge really the operation of the school. Has it interfered with school? Have we had to cancel classes? And there's been some noise that we've dealt with, but as soon as we let Harvey Construction know to minimize that, they do. They always work with us, giving us access to, fields in different places in the building. So again, having nothing to compare it to, I think it has gone relatively smooth. And the school is running, students are going to class, and I don't think we've had too much of a disruption. But it's time consuming. I want people to be informed, both staff, students, community. I want people to be aware of what's happening next, and that means I need to be informed. So always knowing what's happening and taking the time to communicate that to all of the stakeholders, I think is very important, because if people know what to expect, it mitigates anxiety and stress and uncertainty, and certainly I want to do that. But planning, we've already planned for next year where we will put classes, because just kind of a rough schedule. They will be taking quite a large section of the building next year for construction, and so Mr. Dodge and I, with the help of Mrs. Radowitz and Mrs. Burke, we've already run a mock schedule for next year to make sure that we really can run school with everything going on. So it's time consuming in making sure I know what's happening. So now that we have the back entrance open, I think it's kind of injected some energy and excitement with all the students and staff here. That's a big space to be open now, and I think they realize how nice the whole school is going to be in the future. And certainly getting band and chorus out of the space that they were in, it was just so inadequate for teaching, but it was really all we had at the time, so that's nice. But I just think people now are looking forward to what's the next thing opening up. Now that band and chorus and the locker rooms are open, the beginning of January we'll have the Performing Arts Center will open up, and that includes all the spaces backstage too. The dressing rooms, the scene shop, the storage, and also around the same time, the front of the building, the new main entrance. So I'll move up there with one of the deans, the special education offices. The new library will be open when you guys return from the December break, and also guidance. All of our counselors will be up there in their new spaces.
It's so exciting seeing the progress of the construction. Pretty soon the new main entrance as well as the Performing Arts Center will be open.
Next year, we will see a lot of new spaces under construction, such as the new CTE wing of the building. Continuing on our weekly CTE program feature, we spoke to Mr. Messinio on some of the computer and networking repair classes. Let's check it out.
Each week, we look at a different CTE course, and this week we decided to look at computer networking and repair. We got an interview from a teacher and a couple of students. Let's check it out.
Computer repair is about diving into PCs and troubleshooting what issues we have with them, and then solving those issues. If we need to replace a part, we replace it.
Computer repair is basically working on PCs, troubleshooting, and just making sure everything's up and running right. It's very hands-on, so if you enjoy doing things like that, it's definitely the program for you.
So to me, computer repair means understanding a computer, whether it be on a micro scale or a macro scale, understanding whether it be the electricity that runs through the computer and how that powers all the physical functions, as well as the software side of everything and how the computer functions overall.
Well, this program itself, this part of the program, teaches advanced networking. It's based on the Network Plus national certification. This class is mostly hands-on. It's very actively involved. Students are very actively involved in what they do.
Mr. Messinio is a great teacher. We've learned a wealth of knowledge from him. He's very direct, very good at explaining what he needs to do.
Mr. Messinio, the new teacher, is a great guy. He's very articulate. He takes his multidisciplinary education and applies it to just about anything related to the computers as well as networking.
This program currently has 4 courses. We have 2 computer repair courses, which are the prerequisites for a advanced network. I'm preparing students for jobs in technology and information technology, where they want to be a network admin, a PC help desk, or a computer programmer. I'm introducing them to all the skills they need to get entry-level jobs in those professions. Not for the entry-level classes. For the advanced networking class, the students have to successfully pass the 2 previous computer repair classes with a C or better.
I think it's a great program. It certainly fosters professional development, and it does set you up to earn a lot of money and go towards another degree that's just going to even further your education and your professional experience.
I would recommend the whole program in general. I think there's a lot to be learned from here, and just a lot of skills you can't find anywhere else, and it'll help you when you go into the career world.
I would definitely recommend advanced computer networking. You have to take the first 2 computer repair classes before you can, but you learn so much, and you'll be a tech wizard by the time you're done.
Looks like an interesting program. I never knew much about what that class was all about.
There are plenty of interesting classes that are not very well known. That's why each week here at SBD TV, we are featuring a new CT course on SHS Today. Contact Mr. Hazel, our producer, if you have any classes that you want to be shown.
We also have a wonderful athletics program here at Salem High. Winter sports are fast approaching and signups have already started. If you want to get involved, Sean Madden and I talked to Mr. Insigna and got all of the information you'll need to sign up. Here at SHS, the signups for winter sports have already started. If you'd like to sign up online, watch for more information.
So online, everything has been automated. So when you log on to the high school website, you go to the athletics tab, and on the far right left corner, there's a little blue icon that says Family ID. You and your parents go on and register, and once you've filled out the entire portfolio, there's information there that is, general information about name, address, phone numbers, things of that nature. Then it'll ask you which sport you'd like to play. We offer, in the winter, swimming, gymnastics, boys and girls basketball, wrestling, spirit, ice hockey, indoor track, swimming is co-ed as well as spirit. So those are the sports that we have. Due to the construction piece, our gymnastics team and part of the spirit will be off-site. They will be at a gym called A2, which is here in town. It's a brand new gym that opened up, and they're happy to accommodate us. Swimming is at the Boys and Girls Club. We're lucky to have our coach actually works there, so it's pretty easy for us to get there right after school. Wrestling will be in a new multi-purpose room in the new wing. They will wrestle all their matches in the Davis gym that's been beautifully renovated. And then, of course, boys and girls basketball will be right here. As far as the registration piece goes, it's very simple. Once you do it for one time in any sport in any season, all your parents have to do is go back in and remember 2 things. They have to remember the email address that they used and the password they used. After that, it's very self-explanatory. They come in, let's say if you played a fall sport and you want to register for a winter sport, you simply put in the old email address and the old password, click on the sport. It'll ask you if anything has been changed, your address, your insurance, your doctor, things of that nature, and then it auto-populates and you're good for the next 4 years.
Hi, I'm Nicole. I'm playing basketball this season. I have signed up on Family ID, and I'm really excited for the season.
My name is Jake Rosenchater. I'm the captain of the wrestling team and captain of the lacrosse team, and I signed up for wrestling online. I went on the Salem School District website and clicked the link for athletics to sign up. I'm really looking forward to the season. Tristan Kminta, you're going down.
Ben. I'm playing hockey this year, and I have signed up on Family ID, and I'm pumped for the season.
It's just the online piece, and it's open for a great deal of time. It actually opened up the second week of October, and it'll run through to the first day of practices. So Spirit and wrestling start on November 21st. So that will be the end for those two sports. Girls basketball starts on the 28th, right after vacation. Gymnastics starts on the 21st. They'll be able to end right there. Boys basketball will be the latest one. They don't start practice until December 5th.
As you can see, there are plenty of opportunities to get involved, including signing up early for these winter sports.
If anybody has any issues with that, they can call the office here. Myself and Ms. Rosentrader will walk everybody through how to sign up. It's very easy.
Here at SHS.
Well, it sounds like these sports were really easy to sign up for.
Now, to recap last week, plenty of students signed up for the PSATs and others registered to vote. Everyone was busy signing up for something. If you're participating in one of these next year, this segment will help you get more information.
Devin Norris and I talked to some students about what the PSATs were like and other students about the importance of their voice being registered and voting.
It's been a very busy week here at Salem High School as many of the students were preparing for the PSATs, which are a practice test for the SATs that they'll be taking later on this year. Also, juniors and seniors have been going down to the CAF to register to vote for this year's presidential election. Let's take a look and see what students had to say about taking the PSATs as well as registering to vote and how it's affecting them.
So I'm Nicole Burke. I'm the Director of School Counseling here. So I work with all of the counselors in the school counseling department. And tomorrow we are having the PSAT, which is a practice exam for the SAT. All juniors in the state of New Hampshire will take the SAT in the springtime. So what this one is, the PSAT is really a practice for that. So it's a practice exam that we're giving to all sophomores so that they have some experience and that they know what to expect when the time comes as a junior for them to take the SAT. Some juniors are also taking the PSAT as an additional practice before they take the SAT this spring. And in January, when students get their scores back, they'll get it directly from the College Board and be able to create a College Board account and then have online individualized practice based on how they did on the PSAT. The Khan Academy website will partner with College Board and create an individualized practice schedule for you so that you can work on the skills that you specifically need to work on, not just math and English and writing skills in general, but based on how you do on tomorrow's exam, they'll pick out certain questions for you to practice on so that you're ready and you're stronger and ready to go on the SAT when you take that as a junior.
PSATs are a good way for students to study for the SATs and just to get them prepared for the SATs.
Sure. For tomorrow's exam for the PSAT, I would bring a couple of pencils. We will have some backups, but just in case. A couple of number 2 pencils, a calculator. Graphing calculators are okay. You cannot use a cell phone as a calculator. It has to be a real actual calculator. And as long as it can't get on the internet and doesn't make noise, then it's okay to use that kind. And a bottle of water, just in case, but you guys will be out before lunchtime, so you won't need to worry about any of that. And you won't have any access to your backpacks or anything like that. We'll have to keep those closed during the test. So really, you just need a couple pencils, a calculator, and a bottle of water in case you need it.
Not really. I mean, I come here at 9 in the morning because I have no block 1 and 4. So, it wasn't really that difficult. But, it was I could imagine a kid who has a full day would probably be a little, hesitant a little bit. I think that students should try taking the PSATs first because the SATs are very difficult and colleges, I know my college is looking at it, and I think it's good that they get the practice in, and students should definitely, if you don't do well, keep taking it, and then because your senior year, you're going to take the SATs, so keep practicing as much as you can.
All right, thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
It's been a very busy week here at Salem High School as many of the juniors and seniors are going down to the cafeteria to register to vote in this year's 2016 presidential election. It's very important for these students to go down and register to vote because they'll have a say in who is going to become the next president of the United States. Let's take a look and see what a few of the students and the teachers had to say about the registration to vote and how it's affecting everyone here at the high school.
So my name is Matthew Barry. I'm Dean of Students here at Salem High School. 2016 being a very pivotal presidential election. So the last 5 years, we've been doing a voter registration drive, and because of this election and how important it is, I felt that we should continue doing that. So we'll be holding a voting registration drive on October 20th during all lunches, and anyone who turns 18 on or before Election Day, which is November 8th, is eligible. Everyone who is eligible will be receiving some sort of reminder on Thursday during their Block 2 class to come during their lunches. There'll be a table outside the cafeteria. A representative from the town who is allowed to and is trained to register people will be there. All you need is a student ID or a driver's license. If you don't have that, I can vouch for you that you do go to school here and you are who you say you are. So yeah, I think it's a good opportunity to register to vote.
So my name is Brittany Harris, and I think the importance of registering to vote is so you have the ability to put in your opinion on who you actually want to lead our country, because that's very important, because if we don't put in our opinion, then we're never going to be heard.
So I think it's important to register to vote because eventually you'll be able to vote for the candidate that you favor most. And whether you're Democrat, Republican, or Independent, your voice is heard because that vote will tally up to the person that you would want to run the United States that is well-fitting. Me being a woman, I feel like I'm very privileged to be able to vote because way back when, us women, we weren't able to vote at all and we never had an opinion, and we're a big majority of the American population. So being 18 and a woman, I feel like I am very lucky in this day and age to be voting. So I'm doing this for all the women who never could vote before and for my country. So
There is so much going on at this time of year. I know that also the marching band had a very busy weekend this past week, traveling to Maine and to Plymouth, Massachusetts for 2 competitions.
I heard that they did very well at both competitions, taking silver medals in each one. A couple of weeks ago, there was a big fundraiser, the first annual Salmon Scramble to benefit the community. It was a huge obstacle course race held on the field between the high school and Woodbury. Hundreds of people came to this event.
The Salem community got together on Saturday, October 15th for the first annual Salmon Scramble. We were able to get an exclusive interview with Dr. Delhanty and a few others on how the Salmon Scramble was first thought of and how it went.
The idea was first proposed as a Tough Mudder, which I had never heard of. But when I learned that individuals wanted to turn our athletic fields into a mud bowl, I thought perhaps we would do something different. And the idea of a scramble was devised. And individuals that were part of our planning team were confident that we could create obstacles that kids would enjoy climbing over, going through, crawling under, and competing either for a time or for a medal. That's how we devised the Salem Scramble.
Salem Pride is all about the community coming together to enhance our living in Salem, and it takes a lot of people to do that. So we had a core committee that we put together, spearheaded by Superintendent Mike Delhanty, and we had various members of our community that were on that. It took months of planning. It took a lot of phone calls, a lot of emails. Communication was key. We also, from that point, set up subcommittees, and those subcommittees consisted of like the PTAs, the businesses. We had donations that we solicited from people and companies, which were wonderful. We had the principals involved, and we had over 100 volunteers. So it was a lot of planning, but it was just so much fun. It was awesome.
Project really started with a small group just brainstorming what the scramble could look like. And then we added a parent volunteer who has participated in adult level scrambles or Tough Mudders. And he really convinced us that we could create the obstacles themselves, like some tubes to crawl through and a mud pit to crawl across. And then one of the elementary school principals, Mr. Murray, the Fisk school principal, joined. A couple of physical education teachers joined. And from there, the individual school PTAs got involved and agreed to take responsibility for some of the individual obstacles. And that small group coordinated and organized everything, but PTAs and school principals and physical education teachers also participated so that we actually pulled off the event. So there was a small group that did the planning, a little bit larger group did the coordination, and then a much larger group actually helped pull it off that morning. We had lots of volunteers. We had some sponsors, and Mrs. Mahalchik from the high school, who is a member of our small committee, the planning committee, did a lot of work to bring in some sponsors. We had a PTA representative from St. Joe's also involved, and we had some students from St. Joe's, which was nice. So it really took a lot of people to pull it off.
So some of the events that we had at Salmon Scrambler was there was a 2-mile run. There was also a 1 mile for the elementary if they chose to do that. And there was a number of obstacles throughout the way, and some of them were like there was a noodle alley where the kids went through the noodles that they have that were hanging, and they kind of made their way through, which was kind of cool to watch as well. You had to carry either water or sandbags a certain distance and come back. The kids had fun with that. We had hay jumps, different levels that the kids would do depending on their ages. So we used bale of hay to set that up. And one of the real cool things that we also had was mud pits, and the kids had to crawl underneath, like either trees, bushes, things like that, that were out in the running courses, or on the field, we had papers going across, ribbons going across, and the kids had to crawl through all the mud to do that. So that was really awesome. I think the kids really, really enjoyed that. If you could see them, all mud and the excitement that they had. So there was a little bit of everything for people, so for all age groups. There was obviously, we had over 21 different types of obstacles for appropriate age. And it was just, again, thank you to the community and the volunteers for making these things available to us and donating them, so that next year we're just going to keep adding on and have Salem Pride. And again, just to see the kids' face, that was Salem Pride. That's what it's all about.
The school community benefited because the students are what we're all about, and we had about 350 students participate. We even had some high school students sort of informally participate because they couldn't resist diving in the mud and finishing the course from where they were. And parents benefit, I thought, because they got to see their kids enjoying themselves so much that morning. And the school district benefits because we have a chance to bring the parent and student community together for a very enjoyable Saturday. Certainly the aftermath of the event and reflecting back, I would say that it exceeded my expectations. I believed that we would have a good number of kids, several hundred kids, but to watch them actually participate and watch all the volunteers come together and facilitate the events, watch even grandparents come and watch their grandchildren race, was really incredible. It was, the fact that it was a beautiful sunny day helped, but I would say it did exceed my expectations. However, a lot of work with a lot of talented people went into organizing and coordinating it, and I can't discount the fact that all the coordination and all the organization and all that hard work resulted in an incredibly enjoyable day.
You know, obviously without the community as a whole in supporting what Salem Pride is all about, we're just trying to also just enhance what we continue as a community to do. So we look at sponsors to help, and a number of the businesses had done that, and I'd just like to say thank you to them, number one, because without them and without our volunteers and the support of the community, we could never have done this. So that we need to say a big thank you to them. And those consist of Drive Custom Fit, Orange Theory Fitness was one. We had Sear Lumber, and we also had Build It Construction. Now, also as other sponsors that helped us with various, if it was donations for a swag bag, material donations, monetary donations. We had Salem Cooperative Bank. We had Wendy's, we had the Workout Club, we had McDonald's, we also had Stonyfield Yogurts, we had Target was another one, and Spindle Eye supplied our swag bags, which was really key, that we had to put together. Lots of those, which was nice to do that. And Lowell's was another one that certainly donated. Coca-Cola did donate all the waters that we had, so thank you to them. And again, without that, we just couldn't do it in the subcommittees and the members of those subcommittees and just following all the way through. You know, we're ready to gear up for next year, make it a great year, and just to see the faces on the kids. And, you know, it was all about, truly about Salem Pride. And that's what it's all about. Salem is a wonderful community. And people, you know, see that and pull together. So we're very fortunate, I feel.
The Salem Scramble was a very successful event. Stay tuned and participate in the next Salem Scramble for following years.
That's all for now, Salem High. Thanks for joining us.
For Brooke Johnson, I'm Gianna Vittorioso. Thanks for joining us again, and we'll see you again next week.